My phone illuminates at precisely 9:05 a.m. The name Eleanor Brown glows on the screen like a warning flare. I take a sip of coffee, assuming it's another one of my mother's passive-aggressive check-ins. The message reads, "We've changed the gate code and the locks at the lake house. Preston and his family need their private space free from your judgment." I set my mug down slowly, coffee sloshing over the rim, but I make no move to wipe it up. My fingers grip the phone so tightly my knuckles turn white. The initial stab of hurt lasts only seconds before a cold analytical clarity takes its place. Private space, judgment, changed locks. The words arrange themselves like financial data points in my mind. This isn't impulsive. This is calculated. Before typing a response, I slide my laptop closer. My fingers, steady now, navigate to the emergency credit card statement, the one I keep available for Preston's occasional crises. There it is, a $5,500 charge from Boat and Marine Supply, dated 3 days ago. Just great, I mutter. I open Instagram next, scrolling until I find Melissa's latest post, a sun-drenched photo of Preston standing proudly beside their motorboat. Arm around my nephews, her caption reads, "So proud of Preston for working so hard to protect this family legacy for our boys." Family legacy. The lake house sits on the deed of the Brown Family Trust, while the mortgage lives exclusively in my name. I take another sip of coffee, now cold. The bitter taste matches the realization forming in my mind. This isn't a misunderstanding or a family squabble. This is coordinated theft, clear as the spreadsheets I analyze daily at work. I pick up my phone and type a single word in response. Understood. Then I open my banking app and navigate to the automatic payment section. 6 years of $2,000 to $100 monthly payments. 72 transactions totaling $158,400. Not counting property taxes, repairs, and Preston's endless emergencies. My finger hovers over the cancel automatic payment button for only a moment before I press it firmly. The confirmation screen appears. Are you sure you want to cancel this recurring payment? I tap yes without hesitation. 6 years earlier, I sat at a closing table, pen poised over mortgage documents. The memory rises unbidden, sharp in its clarity. You know Preston's credit is struggling, my mother had said, tears welling in her eyes. Do you want your nephew homeless? What kind of aunt would that make you? My father stood beside her, arms crossed. His disappointment was a tangible weight in the room. He didn't speak. He rarely needed to. His silent judgment was always more effective than words. I had hesitated, the financial analyst in me screaming warnings about putting my name on a 30-year debt while the trust held the deed. But the daughter in me, the one desperate for a nod of approval, a moment of belonging, had signed anyway. It'll just be temporary, Preston had promised. 2 years max, Ollie, just until I get back on my feet. 6 years later, Preston's financial irresponsibility remained the family's open secret, one I was expected to manage. I was the fixer, the responsible one, the walking checkbook who made the Brown family problems disappear with the stroke of a pen. Last Thanksgiving flashes through my mind. Aunt Claire cornered me in the kitchen while I rinsed cranberry sauce from serving platters. "Why is your name on the debt? But the trust is on the deed," she asked, voice low enough that only I could hear. "It's fine, Aunt Claire. It's all under control," I had said, dismissing her concern with practiced ease. She gave me that look, part pity, part frustration, before patting my shoulder and walking away. It wasn't under control. It never had been. The realization settles in my stomach like a stone. 2 days after my one-word text response, a certified letter arrives. I sign for it, thanking the postal worker. Inside is exactly what I expect, a default notice from First National Bank. The phone rings 20 minutes later. "Miss Brown, this is Thomas Reynolds from First National Bank's mortgage department. We've noticed your automatic payment didn't process this month." "Yes, that's correct," I reply, calm and professional, the same tone I use in board meetings. "I've canceled the automatic payment." A pause. "I see. Miss Brown, your payment history has been excellent for 6 years. Did you intend to make the payment another way?" Miss Brown, this will severely impact your excellent credit score. Perhaps we could discuss payment options or hardship programs if you're experiencing financial difficulties. I appreciate your concern, but I understand the consequences. Please continue with standard default procedures. I end the call and place the letter in a fresh file folder labeled Lake House. Then I pull out my personal credit report, adding it to the growing documentation. The stark reality of what I'm doing, the financial damage I'm inviting, should terrify me. Instead, I feel oddly liberated. My phone rings again as evening falls, and Claire's name appears on the screen. I stare at it, throat tightening. She's the executor of my grandmother's will, the one person who saw through the family dynamics. I'll need her eventually, but not yet, not until I've gathered every receipt, every transfer, every dollar I've poured into the Brown family sinkhole. I silence the call and set the phone face down on the counter. 6 years of fear, obligation, and guilt finally crystallizing into something harder. Something with edges sharp enough to cut through the tangle of family manipulation. I'll make contact with Aunt Claire, but on my terms, when I have everything I need to reclaim what's mine. A week later, the receipts pile higher on my dining room table with each passing evening. What began as a stack of paper has evolved into a meticulous case file against my own family. I organize each document chronologically, starting with the first mortgage payment from 6 years ago. I create a new spreadsheet, fingers flying across the keyboard with practiced precision. The data tells a story clearer than any family argument ever could. Column A, date. Column B, amount. Column C, category. Column D, recipient. The numbers grow with frightening speed. $158,400, 6 years of my life. Converted to a single cell on a spreadsheet. I add the property taxes next. $8,000 annually. Paid faithfully every December for 6 years. That's $48,000. Repairs come next. $15,000 for the dock replacement after the storm 3 summers ago. $7,000 for the HVAC system last winter, when Eleanor called and tears about my father's health concerns and the cold. Last comes Preston's personal debts, $25,000 in various emergencies over the years. And now the final insult, $5,500 for a boat engine purchased 3 days before they changed the locks. $259,400. The total sits at the bottom of my spreadsheet, a monument to my own blindness. My phone vibrates against the table. Preston's name flashes across the screen. I consider letting it ring through to voicemail, but anger pushes me to answer. Hey, Ellie, his voice carries that familiar false cheer. I noticed you haven't made this month's mortgage payment yet. The bank called, Dad. I'm aware. Beat of silence. So, are you going to fix that? Because Dad's really stressed about it. I glance at the spreadsheet glowing on my laptop. Preston, I'd like to discuss the $5,500 charge on the emergency card. His voice shifts, defensiveness creeping in. Yeah, the boat engine died. We needed a replacement. It's an emergency card, Preston. Not a toy fund. Come on, Allie. I'm here taking care of Mom and Dad, preserving this house. You just sit in your apartment and judge everyone. It's just money. You make plenty. Stop being so meticulous. The word meticulous lands like a slap. I've heard it all my life. My precision with numbers framed as a character flaw rather than a strength. This conversation is over, I say, ending the call before he can respond. 20 minutes later, my mother calls. I consider ignoring it, but I know she keep trying until I answer. Hello. Allison, your brother just called me, very upset. Her voice carries that wounded tone that once would have gutted me. What's this about the boat engine? He spent $5,500 without permission on a non-emergency. Don't be so meticulous, Allison. There it is again, that word. The call ends with her familiar disappointed sigh, the one that used to send me scrambling to make amends. Today, it only strengthens my resolve. 3 days later, I drive to the lake house. Not to confront them, not yet, but to retrieve the original HVAC installation bill I'd left in the desk drawer. The receipt in my records shows only my payment, not the itemized service I need for documentation. The spare key remains hidden in the fake rock by the side garden, just as it has since my childhood. Some things never change. I slip inside quietly, moving toward the office. Voices from the back porch drift through the open windows. Preston and my mother, glasses clinking as they enjoy the afternoon sunshine my mortgage payments have secured. Who cares if she's upset? Preston's laugh carries through the house. She's our Allison Trust Fund. As long as the money hits, she can be as rigid as she wants. I freeze, half bent over the desk drawer. I know, honey, my mother's voice, softer but equally dismissive. Honestly, she doesn't really value family. She just values numbers. The drawer slides open silently. I grab the HVAC bill, fold it precisely, and tuck it into my jacket pocket. Neither of them notices as I slip back out the front door, locking it behind me. In my car, hands gripping the steering wheel, a strange calm descends. The hurt I expected doesn't materialize. Instead, a clarity I've never experienced before washes over me. This isn't a family dispute anymore. I whisper to my reflection in the rearview mirror. It's a financial analysis.